Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. This is week number 5 of the course Software Requirements Engineering. Today we will focus on what are the steps which we will use in problem analysis. So before starting today's lecture, we will look at some previous lecture content. In the previous lecture, we studied what is software requirements management. A requirement is a capability that the system must deliver. In order to build a complete software system, it is necessary to deliver the requirement as an ability that the system must contain in order to satisfy the needs of the users. Requirements management is a process of systematically eliciting, organizing, and documenting requirements for a complex system. Basically, software requirements management is a process that we can use to gather the software requirements, specify the software requirements, analyze the software requirements, and finally document the software requirements for a complex system. Our problem is to understand users' problem in their culture and their language and to build systems that meet their needs. In order to build a successful software system, we need to understand users' problems according their culture and languages so that we can build a system which meets the needs of the users. A feature is a service that the system provides to fulfill one or more stakeholder needs. A feature is simply a requirement that we will embed in shape of functionality into the software system in order to fulfill the needs of the stakeholders. A use case describes a sequence of actions performed by a system that yields a result of value to a user. A use case basically used to show the set of actions performed by the system while the user interacting with the system. So today we will focus on the steps involved in effective problem analysis. So there are basically 5 steps involved in problem analysis. So first we need to know that what is the roadmap. Problem domain is related to the stakeholder needs. So if we want to understand the problem domain, then as a developer, we must know that problem is basically the needs of the user. Those needs to which we have to translate in a shape of a software system in order to satisfy the needs of the user. Next, we must know that is what is a solution domain. A solution domain is related to the features of the system and the software requirements. So, first of all, we should know what is the problem, and then we must know what is the solution. Problem is basically those needs of the customer for which we have to build a software system. And solution is basically the developed feature of the system. Or we can say these can be the software requirements. So the user will define the problem in a shape of descriptive set of requirements. And to give a particular solution, we need to build a software system that will be used to answer the problem defined by the user. We will provide the set of usable features to the user in order to satisfy his needs. Next, we have the problem domain. Most successful requirements journeys begin with a trip to the land of the problem. So, in order to build a solution, we must have a detailed understanding of this problem for which we are going to propose a solution. So this is very important to understand what is the problem domain. This problem domain is the home of real users and other stakeholders, people whose needs must be addressed in order for us to build the perfect system. So basically, the problem domain is basically the home of the real users and the stakeholders. They tell us what they want in shape of requirements, in shape of problem description. So in order to build a successful software or a perfect system, first we need to understand the problem domain. So the needs of the users must be fulfilled in order to build a successful software system. These users have business or technical problems that they need our help to solve. So basically, the users have some business or technical issues, and to resolve those set of issues, they need our help to solve those issues. And how we can help them? To provide them a software in shape of a solution. By using that particular software, they can easily get the solution of their technical problems and business issues. So therefore, it becomes our problem to understand their problems in their culture and their languages, and to build systems that meet their needs. So as a development team or as a developer, it is basically the team's problem to understand the needs or the problems of the user, which will be based on the culture of the user and the language of the user. If we will understand the problems of the users, this is the only way to build a system which will be according to the needs of the users. So the first and the most important thing is to understand the user's problem domain. We cannot generate an effective solution until we don't understand the problem of the user. So it is important for us to understand the problem so that we can generate a solution which will, of course, satisfy the needs of the users. A user can be of any type of users that have a different culture, any different language, but the focus of development team must be to understand the problem or the needs of the user.